Hey guys, and welcome back to my Portugal colonial campaign, where step 1 was building an empire at home, destroying Castile, becoming number 5 great power, and step 2 starting to discover the new world and colonize it. Look how many we already have colonized in Brazil and how many we already have in the Caribbean. In the Caribbean I want to have 1, 2, 3 colonial nations, while in Brazil I'll be keeping everything for myself, as later on we want to move the capital here. I am doing a lot of charters at the same time, which costs me a lot of money, including the increased cost for the quantity, but we're absolutely fine because we are doing well here with the money. I've saved plenty of it for this purpose. Actually, our homeland started depopulating, as we now have some lands with less than 10,000 of population, which is great for us because it means I'll first of all be getting modifiers here for the abundant land, because it's less than 10% capacity and less than 10,000. And in some of this I'll be able to start building settlements that are giving another 1% population growth. Let me do that both at home, but I'll be also spamming it over here. Just it's not saying I should do it some of these locations. Looks like there's not enough of some of the goods here. It's fine. I will do first of all this. So when ready, it's gonna start building. Same here on my colonizations. And I should definitely create a market, because right now it all has 0 market access. I'll create a market in my future capital, so in Jiributaba, right? Because it has a very high harbor capacity. Not as high as Lisboa, but just 10% lower. And that should be because of the good market center needs to be an urban location, obviously. So let me get it to 5,000. Has to finish the colony and then do this. I could also, because it's a big land. I could have 2 trade centers, one here, another one here up north. And if you look at the harbor capacity again, Potiguara is also okay-ish, so that could be another market center. Let me create it in Potiguara first to just be able to produce something. And I'll keep looking and creating. So for example, Jamaica here to be joining the Camagüey colonial subject. It looks I cannot give it to Camagüey. I could give it to Marian, which I don't. And if we keep it for ourselves, does the game allow me to give it to them manually? Yes. This colony here also got finished. Actually, why it's not a core yet? Does it need a monthly? Because over 50% of people are here. Yes. And now we needing to get it to 5,000 of population. That's one of my cabinet members will be doing what's called post-colonial. No, send people to the colonies. And I'll be sending it here. Oh, okay. That's okay. Got it. Oh, so I can only send it to the colonial nations? I can't send it to my own colonies in the New World? That's so trash. How am I supposed to send all the people from Portugal here? I hate it. I hate it. Why it does not allow me to send it here? That's trash. I guess I'll be just boosting the colonial charters. It's just speeding up how fast I'm getting the colonization. And I'm focusing on this area now, because if I go to where it is, I go to topography, vegetation. So there's grasslands here and the flatlands. So this would be an ideal terrains for center of my civilization next to that port here. Looks like Reconquista event that we're getting, because we conquered Granada. So we could explore the Andalusian Muslims, but I converted plenty of them already. But let's try forcing to convert the rest of them. You see, when we take a look at the religions here, it's barely any of them are still Muslim. Look at that population growth at 2.5% back here at home. Yeah, I'll definitely need 2 markets. Particular one, another one here once I get it into a town. But that should definitely allow us to start producing some goods. And how about, it's gonna be very unworth it right now. But how about we just start getting some goods produced here with some, I'm barely giving anything RGOs. Good thing about RGOs is that they cannot be not profitable. We always bring some profit because they don't have any input goods. So you see, like pretty much nothing that's gonna bring. But over time, once we spread, especially this where we have cores, the control, that's gonna start doing something. But you know, once we move our capital to the new wars, these locations will be prepared to do that. You might be saying, oh, why are you colonizing so fast? It's so OP. Keep in mind, it's not really comparable to E4 because, yeah, it might have control over these locations, but that Viceroy only has 60,000 people and free base tax. It's gonna take time to get this up and running. That's also where the building we're discussing in the previous episode should come in handy. The government building called Lieutenancy that gives local nobles power, but there are barely any nobles there. And local proximity source. So it's only a building for towns and cities, but we can start getting some done once you be having locations with a bit more population. For now, we have to focus on growth. I've seen locations like here, where there's not that much of freelance. It's still worth to keep it rural, but soon I'll be able to switch it to a town to make it more worth it. Plus, it looks like we're lacking food in here, so definitely do think about getting some food done. Yeah, that should be plenty of food coming from these locations, but I need to increase control and increase the market access. Proximity cost for port should definitely be of help. Let's take a look. Our proximity back at home look like this. This is just beautiful. Pure beauty. And how's our control, for example, in Sevilla? 88. Over here, we are at 63. Look how cheap the proximity is between the different locations. Oh, we've got what's called Iberian League panel. Because the Italian war started. I don't care about Italy, I'm not touching it. You see, there are different leagues. Could plan a campaign in Italy for 1,000. We got to attract the condottieri. We can intervene on ongoing war, or we can send aid. But yeah, there's no need for us to do anything there. And look that we're getting around 2,000 people a month now. It actually varies between 2,000 and 3,000. Which is thanks to all the settlements we're having. And so this month it was even 6,000. Now I'm gonna lose some because I ceded locations to my subjects. Sometimes it's just also joining a location to the country that's impacting us. Now it's 1,100. But we definitely are scaling the colonies here. I'm just so angry that I cannot simply send people from home here for a finished colony. And same, I might be blind, but there's also no option to like cancel a colony. See, I cannot change the subject's type. I also cannot go and switch to release and play as you could in EU4. At least I cannot find it. I might be blind. This thing should view I then. I could use the world map, but I'm playing on Iron Man. So yeah, I have to naturally go and migrate there. As in any also new market, I'll be focusing first here on getting the most important sources of goods. Should be also visible here. So mason and lumber most importantly, and then also a bit less also glass, sand, but mason and lumber are absolute two basics. I'm just paying 400 for my colonial charters, but the effects are very visible. To be honest, especially in the early ages, like Age of Discovery, this modifier for the cost of the number of colonial charters, it should be much higher. Like me being able to run 29 charters at the same time for the increased cost of just 560, I think I should be getting this kind of cost after like running 5 chargers at the same time, or 6, because this balance and this being so cheap, I can colonize the whole world, because before any of the AIs even think about going colonial. But word you not, I plan to have the Caribbeans, Colombia here, like the North and South America, and then obviously Brazil and La Plata around here. I'll probably keep this as colonial subjects and this for myself. But yeah, I started this with 14,000 saved, I'm down to 1,000. It's also me investing so much into settlements. Look, just here in the Potiguar market, I have 30 settlements built. Should go towards outwards to get the monthly colonial migration. It might be too late actually. But how about we change the law of feudal de jure laws to go outward. And then I'll use one of these guys here to also boost the associative value manually. I'm also spamming the hell out of the market villages, as they give food capacity, market access, trade capacity. So for a good rural building that I'll be using to scale these locations before I turn them slowly into towns and cities. Bartolomeu Diaz, well, you're a bit late, sir. Already discovered whatever I wanted to discover. Maybe not South Africa, which you'd be interested in, but is it exploration cost and preparation time? But I simply don't need you. I might just pay money to not go towards land. Let's do that. With this location finally reaching 5,000 people, I'll turn it into... Still need more mason. Mason is needed for everything. I can find a town so I can create a second market here. I already created my second fleet that will be responsible for taking care of maritime presence in this land. It's gonna take ages to spread, but it's gonna be important long term. That's why I'm already starting to do that. We unlocked paved roads, so let's put a pause on developing these lands, and let's do some boosts here back at home to increase my base tax so I earn more money, so I can reinvest that money in the new worlds. Can we just go to... I don't think I can. To just simply... I could do that for a few locations around, but most of my roads are built like going from here inland, so it's gonna be absolute bad experience of micromanagement to update all this. Let's see how the markets will now spread with the 2 markets being here. Yeah, obviously the control is not spreading that hard, and I'll need another market here and then another market here. But it's a steady work. This should also help take a bigger advantage of the lands around here. Completed all of the colonial related advances. Plus obviously got the additional cabinet member and gun reform. Now let's complete that with stuff like plantations being unlocked. Food production will be important that new world now. And I'll be mainly focusing on economy focused advances to make sure that I have resources to further boost Brazil. If the roads built here in the meantime, instead the 100 control is spreading. Tower of Belém is a unique building we can get in Lisboa. That tower is very well known. It's a building that gives hostile naval attrition and fort defense to our so far capital, but not for long. See, I don't have much control over this lands. It's pretty much just being cores, nothing else. But I'm building the sergeantries, which is gonna give me, I think, around 20-25% additional control. Like, let's see, sergeantry. Sergeantry gives 25 proximity, so it's gonna be additional 20 control that it's gonna give me more or less. Hieronymus Monastery. It's another unique building, or it's just, it is a building, but I see it will give me religious influence, which I don't need at all, or lost prestige. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna go historical here. Libere das Naus another historical event. This starts constructing a building of that name in our capital. So it's monthly stayers, shipbuilding capacity, so I'll be able to build 4 ships at the same time because I can do 2 already at the same time. And in general build ships, but yeah, I can do that already. Another one, the Pistola de Victoria contra Infidels, which is Sephardi converted to Christian. Who is Sephardi? Do we have any of these guys even? We've got like 14,000 of them. Doesn't matter. Looks like both of my markets needs wool, especially for the settlements. So how about I free up some of the trades back home at Lisboa. Like, I don't probably need the Agra trades anymore for sure. Let's free up the 10 trade capacity. And now we can go ahead, find wool and export 3 here. Another 3 here. These trades actually do make me a decent amount of money. While, let's find it, while making the settlements hopefully soon functional. Yep, they are functional now. Perfect. Just look at this population growth. The rights of the burghers, I will go for the strong guilds because that gives production efficiency. And it's of course not immediate, it's gonna take time to be implemented, but it's definitely gonna boost my tax base, which is obviously a plateau right now because I'm investing all the money. And in here, I obviously also slowly building some roads. It's actually pretty enjoyable looking at, you know, back home and like how I depopulated all of these lands. It's so great that they moved to the new world. Look at also all of these lines of migration. Look how this all goes around here, and then in here it also does go around. And you already see where my mainland will be in the future. Looks like I need masonry and naval supplies, but I don't really want to import this to Portugal goods because wool, I don't have wool in the new world. But naval supplies and masonry, I can do it myself locally. Which can be done by also boosting just local production and base tax. You know, also ahead of knowing where I'll be putting my capital in the future, I think I will be developing this province ready to start increasing this faster. And I later also encouraging migration here, but first I'm encouraging migration to Rio de Janeiro because another market will be created here. Just considering now if Rio will be not a better capital because it has 100 harbor capacity, so it would be better to just overall spread proximity on the coastlines in the first half of the game. On the other hand, if I put the capital here, I'll be closer to all of these flatlands around here to be easier to spread control on them, which would be important early on. And I think that's gonna be a reason why we're gonna put the capital here. This stock market's actually already starting making me some money. Look, if I go to the trading, you see Potiguara is selling gold. And so is Jeribaputuba. You know, plenty of gold locations being around here. That's certainly an advantage. Vasco da Gama offers his service. Great, but I don't need you. He has exploration monthly progress and exploration preparation time modifier. Okay, let's see if I can find you some job. I think I got my first potato locations. Just got an achievement notification about it. I can't see it. It's somewhere here, apparently. A quick historical fact. There's a great book by Buddy Levy about the first time when the colonizers actually traveled through Amazon River. Let me find you a river map mode if it works. Is it really gone or they moved it to another map mode? I think it's gone. I cannot find it. And anyway, they traveled, somewhere from the ex-Inca Empire. They traveled through Amazon River, and, it was hell for them because, there were lots of small natives that kept attacking their ships over and over and over. Not many of them were really friendly. Some of them were friendly and, giving them some food. But in general, this whole trip was one big hell. Constantly defending, constantly fighting, and constantly fighting for survival, not only on the fight level, but also on the food. And actually, along that trip, there was a situation where they're really starving, and they found potatoes naturally growing somewhere. And they're so hungry that a few of the colonizers, they decided to start eating raw potatoes, which we know it's not a good idea. But they didn't know it because they just discovered it for the first time. And what it ended up happening there is a few of them actually died from the raw potatoes, and they only learned after that that you cannot eat them raw. A long way from finding potatoes just somewhere along the Amazon River to plenty of countries across the whole world now growing potatoes, including Poland. Roads are pretty much done back here at home, so you see my proximity looks even better, and so does my control map mode. Another historic event is the Misericordia, which would give me, for the cost of 1,000, I'm earning so much more. For the cost of 1,000, 30 years, so plenty of time, I'm gonna get monthly prosperity and prosperity recovery. Very useful, especially that the prosperity was, made so much harder. Let's go and take it. Also wanted to show you what I'm currently doing. First of all, settlements. Got 170 settlements done, which helps me with the population increase. And I'm also doing plenty of stuff like masons. So I have it for, for the most important buildings here. Also plenty of market villages as a very basic settlement buildings. And you'll see that you might ask, oh, Zlewikk, why don't you just spam byleafs everywhere, right? It should be OP, where you can't build byleaf on overseas location. So only when I move here I'll be able to build this. So for now I'm just steadily getting some more towns around. Mostly to create markets. You see, I need another market here, and another market here. And also you see the market access is spreading a bit around this. I'm having also a bit control on these locations, thanks to the special building that we are having, the lieutenancy. All this will be getting this prepared for me to change the capital. And by investing all of my money now into the new world, I'm already getting tax base to 900. We just unlocked Feitoria building, which gives us maritime presence, trade advantage, and trade capacity. And see, this is an oversea building. Well, let's start building some. And these are very expensive, so they cost 600.
2 seconds later.
Whoa! And immediately, Morocco reacted by blocking our buildings in their country. Well, this AI is at least not brain dead. I don't know if it's a reaction to that, but I've got the King's Expedition to North Africa. And I can call a crusade against heathens in Africa, which gives me reduced influence, and beyond Tetuan. But Tetuan is my subject. Oh, we just lose prestige, screw it. Osmeraldo Decidu Orbis. There's plenty of historical events we're getting. And that's something with the Bartolomeu Diaz, which is exploration mission cost, exploration monthly progress at the end of the game. But I don't even plan to really explore much. I mean, I'm just exploring here and there to make map visibility better, but you see, not much. And how about you, Bartolomeu Diaz, go and explore? Oh, of course, it's called Kuitu Ilkiluuta. There goes my third market in the new world. So it's still not like great spread of the market presence, but we're steadily getting there. I have to create another one here. Look how I'm depopulating this. 2,000 people living in Gibraltar. And actually it's mostly Andalusia. I just got rid. Portuguese are no longer here. But at the same time, you see the population growth in these locations is now really high. Lagos used to be a big city, now it's just a small tiny town. At the same time, if you look at the New World, you can already see where my future mainland will be. How are my colonial nations doing in the meantime? Well, Kamagui is having 25 base tax. These guys have 48 and they actually started colonizing themselves. And these guys have 9 base tax. I'm not investing to them anything. It's all on them to scale it. These guys have 3 base tax. I'm actually already making plenty of money on trade. I mean, it's nothing compared to taxes, but this is scaling. You see there's like cloth being important to the New World, but most importantly, me exporting Chile and gold to the Old World. Anyway, it's time to build many more settlements. I just had to build masons first to be able to get this done. And Mercury Patio is a great follow-up on what I just said. This is gold and lead output. Why I can't build it anywhere though? Because there are not available peasants for this. Well, once we get available peasants, that's when I'm gonna get more. Wait, what? Milan just joined Iberian League. I didn't invite you. Honestly, at this point, I'll just go to automations and I'll automate exploration. Just explore the whole world for me, Mr. Automation. We've hit 4 million population already. The printing press and the Portuguese ordinances. So we could do a new edition of our Gandhi form. Should be modified by 50%. But our pops will demand more paper, which sounds like a bad news, but it's amazing news. More paper demand, more paper production, more paper production, more base tax, more base tax, more income from the taxation. So this is absolutely amazing news. Will that modify immediately? Looks like it. Did it? I think it did, right? Minimum tax is 7.5% now. Tax efficiency is 15%. Even change policy cost is nicer. Yeah, we've got 42% tax. I guess we need to get some paper buildings done now as a follow-up. Ambitions of Ferdinando de Magallanes. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Historically, we can just move him to Castile. And he has cartographer trait, which gives me exploration cost decrease, but exploration progress is slower actually. Let us remove him from the court immediately, okay? Or we invite him, we pay him money, and we get more progress towards Old World, which actually does give me even more colonial migration. But 364 settlements created. Yes, we need more population growth. Oh, the Lutheran Reformation just started. I think I'll stay Catholic, just because, simply because all of these locations in the New World are majorly Catholic already. It's not worth for me at this point to change it. See, the trade income is already at 114 because I'm making millions, well, millions. Decent amount of money from the Chile exports and gold as well. And yeah, we've hit over 1,000 of base tax only investing into the New World. I'm curious how much I could increase this guy's base tax if I just invested into them. Well, let's see. Gonna spend some money investing into their RGOs for a starter. The Lisbon Massacre, that doesn't sound like a good event. Cannot do anything, it's gonna decrease prosperity there. And plenty... Wait! Huge amount of the New World and Old Christian will perish.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
No? Well, I'm gonna pay any money. Let's see, 4,424 population. Okay, looks like we've lost 10,000, which is not a huge amount. That's small investment, These guys are up to 40, the base tax 75, 27. Do I at least earn a bit more money from them? Because they're at the very bottom of my list. They still are, I mean, except Marian, that is slowly scaling. São Jorge da Mina. I think in Portuguese it's Jorge, right? São Jorge da Mina. We must continue this trade, which is gonna get us towards conciliatory. It's gonna open trade office in Cabo Corso. Or we just get some prestige. To be honest, doesn't really matter. And trade office is like cheap. It's not. That event was pretty useless. Another law is the cabinet law that you can embrace. And I'll go for reducing power of all the estates. I'm anyway 90% towards decentralization, but I can get it to 100 if I want. But I think I don't want to, because long term, once I move here, I will want to get centralized. I think it's time for me to start investing into future infrastructure, you know, because I want my capital to be such a good natural harbor, because I'm fully towards naval. Most of the proximity will be going for naval. So what I should be doing is 2 locations inland from each of this. I should be having a road already prepared. Right now it gives me absolutely nothing, 0, null, right? But once I move the capital to the new world, it's gonna be extremely important to immediately start spreading the proximity. And you see I already prepared prices over here to be good. I pretty much just need more sands for it to be perfect and ready to invest. I'm seriously thinking about doing the capital in here instead. Just less harbor capacity, but it's really easy spread of control around here. But on the other hand, this would be really strong to get more south. Not yet sure. I, by the way, ran some tests by moving capital here or here, and both were terrible. I'm nowhere close to make this too really profitable to spread my control nicely, but I will be steadily getting more roads. So once I switch, and it's the same with the maritime presence, once I switch, it might be somehow working. Also, let me know, what would you like me to do? Do you want me to go to Brazil as Portugal, or before I do that, should I follow Spain first, with capital in Lisboa, and then capital in the New World? Let me know your thoughts, because that will be happening in the next video anyway. For now, I'll keep playing as I'm playing, scaling New World, and might just eat the rest of Castile. If I would be to form Spain, I would have to annex most of the subjects. Lisboa earthquake. One of you guys did tell me about that event, that it's beyond terrible for Portugal and Lisboa. Just look, we've got... Actually, I think that's already decreased after the earthquake. Maybe not. Let's see, 48. Base tax. I think that was already decreased by the event, but honestly I'm not much worried. It's like pretty much no visible impact, because I have just so much of control and base tax everywhere, including the New World, that you see the control is also increasing here. I love looking at the population map. You see it was all red, and slowly more and more locations are orange, more and more locations are becoming green. England's having a hell of a game, destroying France. Chile and gold are alive. All I have to do is to sell Chile in gold. There are already 4.5 million Portuguese in the world. I guess the goal is to get 100 million Portuguese. Look how many of them are already in the New World. See, combination of creating towns, getting the special colonial building, and temples is doing us not a bad control over these locations. Here goes end of Age of Discovery, and let's see what kind of focuses we can get in Age of Reformation, but I would assume it's gonna be the Diplo one. Yeah, even if we didn't colonize, it's the strongest, now I remember, because it gives tax efficiency 10%, but also 20% efficiency of the cabinet. And there'll be stuff here like colonial maintenance, monthly colonial migration, but obviously I don't have really that many more colonies to be created, and some trade stuff. England wins 100 Years War. Well, that's not happen that often. I'm not sure if I unlocked it now or earlier, but we've got another very useful government that I could unlock, which is giving proximity cost report and progress towards naval. And each coastal urban location also gets harbor capacity. Yeah, let's take that instead of the subject bonuses. And keep in mind, we already have the proximity cost report from here. This tool is gonna be very useful. Sadly, global trade didn't happen in Lisbon. It happened in London. Interestingly, my wealthy subjects are actually building up in the New World, especially the paved roads. Most of these are coming from me though. How are the markets doing? You see, I've got all of this created in the New World. This is all mine. So I've got 198 value here already, 150 here, 230 here. This I just created. And this one has 52. Anyway, I think this is where I'm gonna finish with 7,000 of population. So let me walk you through a bit of map modes. This is the location rank. Let's focus on the New World, huh? The location ranks, control, proximity, roads, markets, literacy, and then I can also show a control back at home. Look at how good it is thanks to the, being us at 100 of naval and proximity. So far so good. We've invested probably like 200,000 or so into the New World already. And this is really getting prepared for me to move the capital. But I was testing, as I told you, it's not worth it. Let's just keep investing for now and getting more people there. So that map turns more and more yellow and green instead of being so red. For today, guys, thanks for watching. I hope that you are enjoying this series so far. Let me know how you like it by liking the video and obviously subscribe to the channel to get notified about the next episode. Bye.